Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the MMA Business Hour. And in today's episode, we're going to discuss what's next for Alexander Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev, Yair Rodriguez, and Josh Emmett. Okay. As we all know, Islam Makhachev came out victorious in his fight with Alexander Volkanovski this past weekend at UFC 284. Also, Yair Rodriguez came out with the W by submitting Josh Emmett. Okay. So a lot of featherweights and one lightweight that should be a welterweight. Okay. For Josh Emmett, very disappointing for him. I mean, the dude has crazy scary power. When he hits people, they all go, oh my god. So what's next for Josh after this disappointing loss? Okay. I think for Josh Emmett, I think the loser of the Max Holloway Arnold Allen fight will be next for Josh Emmett. Whew, man, that fight is going to be fire. Max Holloway and Arnold Allen. Whew. I think this is a torch passing fight, essentially. If Arnold Allen is able to defeat Max Holloway, then I don't know how Max gets back to a title shot. He's going to have to win 3 fights probably to get back into title contention. But Max Holloway versus Josh Emmett or Arnold Allen versus Josh Emmett are very interesting fights. And for Yair Rodriguez, he improves with every fight. He's got great grit and tenacity. His leg kicks are unbelievable. He has so many different weapons, from elbows and knees and spinning back fists and flying knees. And the dude brings the toolbox when he gets into that octagon, that is for sure. So it looks like a fight with him and Alexander Volkanovski is next. So they just fought here in February, so we say maybe 4 months out. That brings us right around, maybe even International Fight Week in July could be an interesting time for them to fight. We could see May, possibly, but I think June or July seems a little more reasonable for those guys. It would be really interesting to see how this fight plays out. I mean, Volkanovski looks unbeatable at 145. I mean, he was one round away from beating Islam. Really, one more dominant round. If it goes to round 6, I think Volkanovski wins that fight. Luckily for Islam, they only fought 5 rounds, and in the 4th round, he was able to get that body triangle and kind of hold him down for the majority of that round. So who do I think wins between Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez? It'll be really interesting because I don't see Volkanovski going for the takedown. So their stand-up styles are really interesting because they're both pretty unconventional strikers, right? They come from different angles. They throw huge combinations, 3, 4, 5, 6 punch and kick combinations from both those guys. So that is the most excited I am for a featherweight fight in a very, very long time. Their skill sets match up in a very interesting way. So it'll be really fun for all UFC fans to see how that fight plays out. But I'm leaning Volkanovski because his performance against Islam was absolutely incredible. Alright, now we're on to Islam Makhachev. Whether you thought he won or lost the fight, that doesn't really matter. I made a video earlier where I give my thoughts on the fight and who I thought won the fight. You guys can check that out in the link at the end of the video. So, what's next for Islam? Alright, at 155, there is the Justin Gaethje fight against Rafael Fiziev that is coming up at UFC 284. That should be an incredible fight. I don't know. I mean, Fiziev seems a little too dynamic for Justin Gaethje, but we'll see where Justin goes. Justin fights every fight exactly the same. So as the competition gets stiffer, these guys understand what's coming at them. He's going to kick your legs, and he's going to throw missiles at your head. He fights everybody the same. He doesn't really mix up his style at all, for better or for worse. Fiziev is a lot more dynamic with the leg kicks, the head kicks, the body kicks. He has a really good jab, great combinations, but he did have a little bit of trouble with RDA. I mean, that was a really, really close fight. And if he doesn't finish him in those later rounds, that fight could have went either way. So, also, I think the fight to make is with Beneil Dariush. Dariush just keeps getting shafted and shafted and shafted. And his skill set is really interesting. And he's a big 155er. Islam is not going to be able to weight bully Beneil Dariush. That's for goddamn sure. So does Dariush fight Poirier in the meantime? I don't know. But I think the fight to make at 155 is without a doubt Islam Makhachev and Beneil Dariush. We also have the Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fight. But the Ultimate Fighter starts shooting in May. So if that runs for 2 months, say, 3 months, I don't see them fighting probably until the fall, maybe September. I think the Conor McGregor fights happens late August or in September. And that leaves him maybe not fighting again until, if they do it in August, maybe the beginning of August, he could fight again in December, whoever wins that fight, Chandler or McGregor. And that would, if we have Islam and, say, Dariush fight International Fight Week in July, that would have their next fight line up right around that November, December time frame. But let me know what fights you guys think these guys should be getting into over the next few months. We have Volk going back down to 145 and Islam staying at 155, but who knows? Islam is having a lot of trouble making 155. So it'll be really interesting to see if he can keep making this weight. He looked terrible on the scale on Saturday, and he looked even worse on the scale against Oliveira. So it's only a matter of time before Islam has no choice but to move up to 170. So leave some comments down below. Let's talk some fights. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next fight.